So one of the things I try to get across to you guys in all my videos is not just the information, not just the tech, but I also try to get across to you guys that you could do this with little investment whatsoever. Of course, you could go as crazy as you want, but for a lot of you guys that are just starting out, you really don't have a big budget to invest, so you want to make your money go as far as possible. I work with a lot of great vendors, whether that's spore vendors or supply vendors, and they give me discount codes for you guys. And I'll put some of them links in the description below. But sometimes that's not enough, especially in the times that we're in right now. You know, things are crazy. Everybody's trying to make their money go as far as possible. So I'm going to show you guys how to do something really cool and save a good amount of money in the process.
Tripping on acid in the hotel lobby. Everything moving hella fast, Ricky Bobby. Floating in the ethers. Listen to the ethers, you can probably tell the future. Superhuman man.
What's going on, Trip Team? First of all, I want to welcome you guys back to a brand new video. Now, if this is your first time ever seeing a Willy Michael video, welcome to the Trip Team family. That's what I call my supporters, my fans, whatever you want to call them. They're my Trip Team family. It feels like a family. It is a family. And I much rather call them family than fans, because fans just sound ridiculously derogatory. I don't like the way it sounds. So your Trip Team family. Make sure you guys, if you really appreciate the information in this video and you guys like the way I'm giving it to you, go down, hit that subscribe button and the bell off to the side so you're notified when I drop a brand new video. Now, make sure you guys stay tuned to the end, because I got some really cool information that I'm going to give you guys about an event that's going to be happening soon, and you guys could come and join me. It's going to be a lot of fun. I try to do it every year. The first year was amazing. This year we stepped things up. It's going to be even better. And I hope to see a lot of you guys over there. But with that said, let's jump right into this video. So these right here are spawn bags. You guys have seen me use these many times. They're plastic bags with filters on them. And you guys have seen me use them, whether it's with the grow kit, or I was showing you guys how to load them up, sterilize them, seal them up, inoculate them, whatever the case may be. Now, these are a great option if you guys don't want to use something like this right here. Your typical quart jar that we fill up with our grains. Now, this is usually what most people are going to use, and they're absolutely perfect, and why change it if it's already perfect? Well, the reason why you might want to use a spawn bag over a quart jar is because you're limited to the space inside the quart jar. So you could only fill it up with so much grains, usually 3/4 of the way, and that's it. But with spawn bags, you actually have options. They have small, medium, large, extra large. I usually get the medium bags, and I could fill them up with 1.5 to 2 pounds of grains comfortably with no problem. Now, of course, spawn bags ain't perfect. They have their downside too. And the downside to spawn bags, and it's really the biggest downside, is the footprint on the environment, right? So we use it, we throw it out. But if you do it properly, you could actually use them a couple times before you're forced to get rid of them. And what I mean by that is, if you go on most vendors' websites, or if you go and look at some of the texts or stuff like that, they'll tell you to inoculate straight through the bag and then just cover it with tape and you'll be perfectly fine. The problem with that is, once you poke a hole in this bag, that's it. It's no good no more. So you get that one use out of it and you need to get rid of it. The second thing that's wrong with that whole process is, once you inoculate it and you pull the syringe out and you go to grab your tape and cover the hole, you just left that hole exposed. So anything could have got in there and your grains might be possibly contaminated. So I don't really agree with that. I think the best way to go is with a self-handling injection port. And the reason why I don't buy them with the self-handling injection port already on them is because of the cost. It's not very cost effective. Now, the ones with the self-handling injection port are a double, even triple the price of the ones that come without. And you guys could do it very easy, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. But in order to do that, we need to move over to the workbench, so let's go. All right, guys, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to put the self-handling injection port on a bag that already has grains inside of it. So as you guys can see, I got some sterilized rye berries in here. This bag's already been done. It's already sealed. but we can still add a self-healing injection port to it, so that way we could reuse the bag over and over if we want to after we're done with these grains. Now, as you guys can see, I got gloves on, and you want to wear gloves for this because you want to try to be as sterile as possible. Now, my gloves have already been sanitized with some hand sanitizer. I know hand sanitizer is kind of a hot commodity right now in the times we're in, but if you guys could get some isopropyl alcohol, that will work perfectly fine. Just squirt a little on your hands, rub it all over your gloves, and let it air dry before you guys start working. So this is the first thing you're gonna need right here. This is some RTV. This is high temperature gasket maker, and it comes in many different colors. We're gonna be using red RTV for this one, but if you guys want to get it in blue, black, green, whatever color that's out there, it really doesn't matter as long as it says high temp, because it needs to be able to withstand the temperatures inside the pressure cooker or the autoclave. So it's very important you get high temp. Just make sure it says that on the packaging, because there's other types of gasket makers and different things that aren't high temp that will actually fall apart when you guys put them under high heat. The next thing you guys are gonna need is some Micropore tape. Now, Micropore tape is readily available. You guys can get it at any pharmacy, off any supply company, vendor, Amazon, eBay. It really doesn't matter. What I do suggest is getting the paper or the fabric one, because they do sell a plastic one and it's not as good. It doesn't work as good. You guys want to get this paper one or this fabric one. You guys could see inside, it says Micropore tape. A lot of people call this Microspore tape with an S, but it's not. It's Micropore tape, which means it has microscopic holes or breathing holes in the tape. This works great for filters on your jars or on your bags or anything like that. You're also gonna need some isopropyl alcohol or ISO alcohol. Now, I suggest getting the highest percentage that you could get. This is 91%, but if you guys could only get 90% or 75%, that's perfectly fine. It will still work, but the higher percentage, the better. Just keep that in mind when you guys go out and purchase it. You guys are also gonna need some paper towels or some cotton swabs, something to apply your ISO alcohol to so we could wipe down the area we're gonna be working on. The next thing you guys are gonna need is some paper. So this is just regular white paper that's been cut into little 1-inch squares. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be squares. It can be circles or triangles or whatever you want to do, but you guys are going to need a few pieces. And that's pretty much all you guys are going to need to add self-healing injection ports to your bags that have already been loaded with grains and sealed. Now, I suggest adding the self-healing injection ports after you've already sterilized them, it's already sealed up, and all you need to do next is inoculate. You want to add your self-healing injection ports 24 to 48 hours before you plan on inoculating. The reason for that is it has to cure. You have to let the RTV cure fully before you guys could actually use them. Some people like to add them before they go into sterilization, and that's when you guys are going to need a few other things. So we're going to be taking this empty spawn bag right here, and we're going to add a self-healing injection port to it. Now, this is what you would do if you wanted the self-healing injection port on there before you guys actually sterilize. And if you guys are going to go that path, you guys are going to need an alcohol burning lamp or a lighter, something to flame sterilize. You guys are also going to need something to poke a hole. So this has already been sanitized. We've already wiped it down with isopropyl alcohol. But pretty much what this is, I'll get closer so you guys can see. This is just a small Phillips screwdriver. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna heat this up so we could poke a hole in our spawn bag, but you guys could use whatever you have available to you, whether that's some type of skewer or something like that. Whatever's you can heat up and poke a hole into your bag. So first, let's add our self-healing injection port to our already sterilized grain bag right here. Now, if you guys order a grain bag online that doesn't come with self-healing injection ports, or you guys want to do it yourself, it would be done the same exact way. So the first thing you want to do is just take a cotton swab or some paper towels or an alcohol wipe, and you guys want to wipe down the area that you're going to put your self-healing injection port. Don't be worried about just wiping in the one area. Wipe all around, get the whole entire area nice and clean. And then you guys just want to let the alcohol evaporate before you guys actually start doing any work. Now, us wiping it down is doing two things. It's making sure that the surface is nice and clear so our micropore tape can stick to the bag. And it's also making sure that nothing gets trapped under our micropore tape, like any type of bacteria, a mold spore, or anything like that. So when we go to inoculate it, we don't push it into the bag. So it's just wiping everything clean and giving us a good surface area to work with. Next, you guys want to rip off 2 small pieces of micropore tape. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect. They don't need to be the same exact size, but you guys want 2 small pieces. So right here, I got my 2 pieces. They're probably about 1.5 inches each, nothing crazy. And what you want to do is lay it right on the middle. So what I like to do is lay one way and lay the other one the opposite way, kind of making a little X. And then I'm going to put my self-healing injection port right in the middle. So what we need to do is we need to open up our RTV and get it ready to put onto our micropore tape. So when you guys open up your RTV, you're going to have to cut the tip, and you guys are going to have to puncture the seal that's on the inside. So there'll be a metal seal. You guys will flip over the cap, puncture it, and then you guys will put your little nozzle on there. Now, I like my RTV to come out a little bit heavier, so I cut a little bit down. But if you guys want to do it in smaller amounts, that's perfectly fine. It's just a lot easier just to get a nice glob of RTV out at once and move on to the next bag. So what you want to do, and I'm going to try to get this as clear as possible, is you want to push out the RTV and go straight up with it. Just like that. As you guys can see, it looks like an ice cream cone or something like that. Then what you guys want to do is take one of your little pieces of paper and nice and easy, just push down. Try to make it even. You don't want to flatten it out completely. So as you guys can see, I still left it nice and chunky. That's how I like my self-healing injection ports. You don't want to flatten it out too much because then it's not going to work properly. You got to have some type of depth to your self-healing injection port for it to work properly. So you guys just want to push down nice and easy, and then this one's done. You just want to put it off to the side. Now, we need to let that cure. So in 24 to 48 hours, we'll come back and we'll peel off our paper and we'll have our self-healing injection port. Now let's move on to a bag that's brand new that hasn't been loaded with grains, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that one right now. All right, guys, so we have our empty spawn bag right here, and for this part, you're going to kind of have to be a little artist, you know, you're going to have to get a little bit crafty. So the first thing you want to do is pull out your alcohol burning lamp and whatever you're going to use to heat up and poke your hole. Like I said, you could use a metal skewer, you guys could use a little screwdriver like this. You guys could use whatever's metal that's not gonna melt that you could puncture a hole into your bag. So the first thing you wanna do is open the bag up just like that, because you're only gonna be puncturing through the front side. You're not gonna be puncturing through the back side. So the first thing we need to do is light up alcohol burning lamp. If you guys don't have one of these, you guys could just use the lighter. It really doesn't matter. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to heat this up enough that it's going to go through the plastic really easy. That should do it. Cover that up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to poke our hole. So what I like to do is try to poke it lower. So I just hold the little screwdriver, go around, and that's it. As you guys can see, nice little easy hole, nothing crazy. If you guys want to round it out some more, just hold the sides of whatever you're using. And you guys could round it out some more. Get close so you guys could see how that looks. Now, after I do that and it cools, what I like to do is just rub my finger across just to get any frayed pieces of plastic cleaned off. And once you guys have it like that, you guys are all set. You're ready to move on to the next step. Same exact thing. You guys want to take some alcohol, whether you're using a wipe or you guys are using a cotton swab, it really doesn't matter. And just wipe down the outside. This is just gonna give us a clean area to work with. I'm gonna do the same exact thing to the inside. This is just making sure that there's no residue or anything that's gonna mess with the RTV. That's the reason why we're wiping it down. We don't need to worry too much about mold spores or bacteria, because we're gonna actually be sterilizing this after the fact. Not like the previous bag that we just did that's already been sterilized. So once the alcohol evaporates, now we could start to put our self-healing injection port on. So I got my RTV, and what I like to do is put my arm in the bag, just like this. Just start to lay it on there. Just like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some paper, and I'm just gonna push down lightly. And that's gonna let me work on the inside, so that way my RTV isn't touching the table. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my RTV, and I'm gonna go inside, and I'm gonna just add a little bit more. Just like that. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. You guys can see it in there. And then I'm gonna take another piece of paper, and I'm gonna push down. Just like that. Now, as you guys can see, both are on there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flatten it out a little bit just by touching it lightly, making sure I still have a decent thickness to the RTV. And that's it. Now you guys could put it off to the side, and you guys could let it cure for 24 to 48 hours. After the 24 to 48 hours, we'll come back and we'll see what we have. All right, guys, so it's been about 24 hours later after we laid our self-healing injection ports, and our RTV has fully cured. It's very easy to check. You guys could just push down on it, and if you guys feel it really squishy, or you start seeing RTV bleed out or squish out from the sides, then it needs some more time to cure. If you guys try to remove the paper too early, what will end up happening is the RTV will just separate from the top of the bag, or it will separate from each other, and it will be a complete waste. You guys don't want that to happen. So make sure you guys give it enough time. 24 hours is usually enough time, but depending on your humidity, the temperature, things like that, that's gonna play into it. So sometimes you have to wait 48 hours or 32 hours. It really doesn't matter, don't rush it. So first, we're gonna pull off the paper on our bag that isn't loaded. Now, when you guys go to pull off the paper, you'll notice you wanna try to find the side that has the least amount of resistance, because sometimes the RTV is stuck to the paper. But if you guys search around, you guys will find a side that has less resistance, as you guys can see. And once you guys get it going, you just want to hold down on the RTV and just peel slowly, just like that. Now, as you guys can see, that's our front side, and it looks perfect. Try to get a little bit closer for you guys. Now, if you guys wanted to leave this paper on the inside and not pull it off, you guys could do that. You know, paper is actually a nutritional source for mycelium or mushrooms, so it wouldn't hurt it. But I'm gonna pull it off just to show you guys what it looks like once both sides are off. Same exact thing, just try to go as easy as possible. Just hold down. And there you guys go. Easy peasy. We just added our own self-healing injection ports to our bags. Now, like I said, the benefit of this is you're gonna be able to use these bags over and over a couple different times before they go bad. And you're also gonna be able to keep error down to a minimum. So you're not going to be injecting straight through the bag. You're going to save some money by buying bags that don't have self-handling injection ports on them and all that good stuff. Now, like I told you guys, there's different types of RTV. So there's blue, there's red, there's multiple different colors. I have a bunch of different ones. And on that day, did a couple bags in blue, a couple bags in red. So I'm gonna show you guys one of the blue bags. And there you go, guys. That's exactly what it looks like. So this is in the color blue. And this is the one that's already been sterilized that we loaded up. And once you guys peel off the paper, this is exactly what you'll be left with. Now, it's very simple. If you guys wanted to inoculate this right now, you guys could do that because it's already sterilized and a self-handling injection port is cured. So what you would do is just take some rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, wipe down your self-handling injection port, flame sterilize your spore syringe, inoculate straight through the self-handling injection port, pull out your syringe, and you guys are all set. You just put it off to the side. Now, when you guys are pulling out your syringe, try to pull out slowly. So that way it gives time for the self-handling injection port to close behind the spore syringe. That's the one problem with inoculating straight through the bag. It works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't sometimes is because you're inoculating straight through the bag and you're leaving it exposed after you pull out the spore syringe and go to grab the tape to cover it over. So by putting these self-handling injection ports on there, you guys are saving yourself that hassle. Just pull out your spore syringe nice and easy. Give some time for the RTV or the self-handling injection port to close as the spore syringe is being pulled out, and you guys will be perfectly fine. And there you go, guys. That's two of them side by side. You guys could use any color that you guys want to use as long as it's high temp. You guys will be perfectly fine. You guys could do it beforehand. You guys could do it after the grains have already been in there and loaded up and sterilized. It's really up to you guys, whatever you prefer. Like I said, if you guys want to save some money, this is definitely the route to go because you guys could look at the difference between the bags with and without, and you'll see that you're going to save a good amount of money. One of these tubes of high temp RTV costs about $3, nothing crazy. And this one tube can make probably 50 to 100 self-handling injection ports, depending on how much you lay on there. And there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I love doing stuff like this for you guys, and it's you guys that bring the video ideas to me. You guys ask me different questions all the time, and if I get enough of those questions to where it's easier to answer them in a video format like this versus just writing back to you because so many people are asking, then that's what I'll do. This is a really good one because this is gonna save you money, and it's also teaching you how to be self-reliant. You guys don't need to go out and buy the injection ports and put them on, or you guys don't need to get them already put on. You guys could do this very easy with some RTV and some bags that don't have injection ports and save a good amount of money. So now that we're all done with that, what is the news that I have to share with you guys? I'm so excited about this. My hands are shaking. Coming up in October, we have Tripleween 2020. So what is Tripleween? Tripleween is probably one of the most amazing things you can ever attend. It's an event that I try to throw for the Trip Team family every single year. We did it in 2018, 2019. I couldn't do it because I was out filming for the new web series that's coming up. But we're going to be doing it this year in 2020, and I'm really, really stoked and excited about it. It's an event that takes place over a couple days. So the first event was only a 2-day event. This time, it's going to be a 3-day event, and if you get a VIP ticket, it's actually a 4-day event. It's absolutely amazing. We do something different every single day, so it's always planned out. There's drivers, security. It's absolutely amazing. It's completely organized, and it's just a fun time. So we're going to be doing mushroom foraging and a nature walk one day, and then we're going to be doing a pool party / get together. We're going to be VIP guests at Universal Studios, Florida, which means we're going to be escorted by security and park employees into all the haunted houses and the rides. We don't need to wait in no lines. They take us through backdoor entrances and all different types of stuff. And you guys could be a part of that. I'm not sure what's going to be available for tickets once this video drops, but hopefully there's still some available. And if you guys want to grab one of those tickets, just go right here to this email and just write, I want some information on the Tripleween tickets. And my event coordinator will get back to you, and she'll let you know the prices and how we do things and what's going to happen on what days. And it's not cheap, but it's more than an event. It's like a vacation. You know, we're going to be down in Orlando, Florida. If you get a VIP ticket, everything's pretty much covered. You get to actually stay in my pool villa with me 24/7. So you get to hang out with me for the entire 4 days that you're there. You guys have a personal driver that will drive you to and from different things or whatever you want to do. Your food, everything's taken care of. So it's amazing. And if you guys want to save some money, then you can get a regular ticket. And you guys won't be staying with me, but you guys will be at every single day, at every single event, you know, and all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys go check out that, because they're going to sell out really fast, and I want to see a bunch of you guys there. I love you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm Willie Michael. Do good, be good, live good. Namaste.